let's talk about another quarterback. Rich Eisen tossed it out there yesterday, and let me get the full quote here for everybody. But he has a name for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What about next year if the Steelers don't want Russell Wilson anymore, if Justin Fields doesn't work out for them, if they're looking for, a new option, 2025 starting quarterback, where are you going? He says, what about Dak Prescott? Quote, what happens if the guy they went ahead and gave pole position doesn't work out? What if they get a look at Justin Fields and say he's not the guy? Maybe the Steelers are all in. Right now, their offense costs nothing. I don't even think it's $15 million. It's just over $15 million, I'm pretty sure. They'll have the money to give Dak a multiple of that. I think the Steelers might be in on Dak and let him finish his career in Pittsburgh. A quote that starts with, and before you read it, you go, oh, Dak Prescott to the Pittsburgh Steelers, 1-year deal, so on and so forth. You read that quote and you go, finish your career in Pittsburgh. We've just taken this from level 1 to level 5 so fast. So fast. I like Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. I think Dak Prescott's probably better than both quarterbacks that the Pittsburgh Steelers have on their roster currently. I 100% agree with that. I don't like Dak Prescott for the amount of money that he's going to cost. I don't like the fact that Dak Prescott's won. I don't know. Could you look this up for me? What's the amount of playoff games Dak Prescott has won? Because I believe it's one. I'm almost positive it's one playoff game. And I don't like that because you're only edging Mike Tomlin for one of those. And that's not who you want in a quarterback. The Steelers have an opportunity right now, the way they sit, to run with a guy who's won a Super Bowl, which is what you need at the quarterback position, or develop a guy who has a ton of potential in the league. I just think that option C would be, we're going to get the guy that is really good, but seems to not play super well in the playoffs. And at least Kirk Cousins has won some playoff games. At least Kirk Cousins, I mean, I think it might be only 2, but at least Kirk Cousins looks decent in the playoffs most of the time.
If Kirk Cousins has 2, he's equal with Dak Prescott. Dak beat Seattle in 2019 wild card, and then he beat Tampa Bay in the 2023 wild card.
Who was it? Seattle and then Tampa Bay.
Seattle and then Tampa Bay.
So it would have been Tampa Bay with Tom Brady. Okay, you got to respect that one. I still don't know. I still don't know if I'm in on it. I mean, do you look at Dak? If you were to pick between Dak and Kirk, who are you picking?
I'm picking Kirk every day.
Same deal.
Every single time I'm still taking Kirk Cousins, because even though he beat Tom Brady, or I think he retired Tom Brady, I think that was Brady's last game. That was a shell of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was no longer, that was NFC South, because they're in the NFC South is why they hosted a playoff game, Buccaneers. So I'm not impressed with Dak Prescott in the playoffs. And honestly, I don't think he can elevate a team like that.
No, I agree. I read this quote. I saw it all over everything. Everybody's talking about it. Obviously, I was getting text messages about it last night after Eisen dropped it. Just the answer is no. The answer is no. The Pittsburgh Steelers have other ways to go about this. And to be quite frank, you could talk about how inexpensive the Steelers' offense is, but you at the same time have to talk about how expensive their defense is. You can't just go in there. This is not Madden. You don't just get to mess around with things instantly. Your salary cap remains the same, whether Cam Hayward's making $25 million and your defense is the most expensive defense in the league and your offense is the least expensive, or if it was the other way around. Just because they even themselves out, or just because the offense is getting more expensive, doesn't mean the defense is getting less expensive. You can't pay a guy a boatload of money unless you are 100% certain that he's your guy. That was my only issue with Kirk Cousins, is that you look throughout time, you look at these quarterbacks who have gone to that second team and just killed it, and just that was it. They left their legacy. The Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings. It's the Tom Brady's and the Peyton Mannings. If you're not a Tom Brady, if you're not a Peyton Manning, maybe a Russell Wilson. Maybe Russell Wilson could be that guy with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I'm taking that chance over a Dak Prescott. 100% I'm taking a chance on Russell Wilson before I'm taking a chance on Dak Prescott, because Russell Wilson's proven, hey, I could do this. I've done this. I'm a 9-time Pro Bowler. Dak's a 3-time Pro Bowler, I'm pretty sure. He's 30 years old already. You're going to sign him to a long-term deal and say, hey, look, could you imagine that too? Like, the Steelers have already not won playoff games If Dak Prescott was your quarterback, it's a dangerous time. It's a dangerous time. I'm saying I'm 100% out on Dak. There's no I could probably name off 7 quarterbacks that I'd take before Dak Prescott. And to be totally honest, Kenny Pickett might be on that list. Like, he might be on that list in a different situation, in a different, where he doesn't ask for a trade, turns into somebody that Pittsburgh fans will never respect again. You know, if Kenny was here and this was the guy and it was Russ and Kenny, I still think if we were having the same conversation, I'd be in the mindset of, I think I'm giving Kenny Pickett a shot before I'm overpaying Russell Wilson. Baker Mayfield has as many wins in the playoffs as Dak Prescott. I'm taking Baker's on that list. Baker Mayfield is on that list.